So, how's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf. Hopefully this is working. I actually have no idea, to be honest. It's just more of a test stream. It's a little bit late tonight as well, but we'll sort that out. I kind of want to probably do 2 to 4 hours earlier than this normally. How's it going, guys? Sam Woodman and Walker Fan 500. Right, I'm on what are we on? Drownlands. I'm thinking of going to do the geological exploration. So you've got to kind of scan the areas. You've got the North Point, which is going to be along here somewhere. You've got south and west, so west will be along there somewhere and south along there. And there is a bit of an easier way to find it rather than just blind look. I'm going to take this JBE John. Just set it up quickly. I'm not going to go too mad on setting it up, but we'll get the basics. Yesterday I was doing a couple of things. I kind of started this geological exploration mission, but I wanted to use a modded Bruce. Sorry, not a Bruce, a Dolphin. And there is one in the truck life improvements, but because I'm on my second playthrough, I've not got all the engines unlocked or anything, so it's kind of fairly standard anyway, which I'm not too keen on. And yeah, then I was trying, what was it, the long-nosed Kolob that's got, is it like the M181 version, and it just kept crashing, not all the time, but it was like about once an hour, but I just kept losing all my footage and everything. And yeah, after about the third time of restarting, I just kind of thought we'll skip the video. Again, if this tyre menu was quicker, that would be really nice. That's about the only bad thing though. Everything else is pretty quick. Doesn't really matter. We're going to need the seismic thingy. Trying to read the chat. It comes up on the screen a little bit, but it goes pretty quick. It's good to see you all here though. Again, we'll get a bit more smoother on like kind of pre-announcing it on YouTube, so it's not just a last minute thing. I'm not too bothered about all of that. We'll make it yellow. Right. So for this one, obviously, once you equip the seismic vibrator module thing, you can see the distances in the top. I wish they'd put like a black box behind the thing so you can actually read the writing most of the time. So you can see like the first one on the North Point is 953 meters away. If I go onto my map, you can do this kind of with a one truck method or two trucks. I'll show you the one truck, but then I've also got a bandit stashed down there that's got a seismic vibrator module. So I know it's going to be along here somewhere because it's the north side. So if you just click a point, again, I wish they'd also make this a bit larger. I believe that's 898 meters. We want 953. I think that is 953 or 33. Again, a little bit bigger would be nice. That's what she said. So basically, I'm about 953 meters away from my truck. So if you kind of draw a line like that would be a big circle around your truck, the point I need to go and inspect has got to be along here somewhere along this line, because that's 953 meters away. And you can see this area is a little bit sort of explored already. 950, I believe, so it's going to be about there, and that's like the one truck method where you can just measure it. So I already know to travel to roughly that place. However, I also could do, just to double check it, yeah, I got a bandit with a seismic vibrator module. I've just kind of plonked it in the middle of the map roughly. Now when I've changed to this, the distance to the North Point has changed to 712 meters, and if I check my marker again, that is 717. So they both, you could basically, I'll just kind of do a rough, if you draw like a big circle around my bandit, it's going to be a very rough circle, so just bear that in mind. But everything on that circle is, say, 712 meters away from me, and as it's saying, it's the north side, so it's going to be along that circle somewhere. But again, from my second truck, that kind of meets with it over here, so we'll delete all them. That's the area I'm going to go and explore. Get back to my JBE. It's nice, this thing's actually got some decent engines. And yeah, we'll set off that way. So, I'm going to kind of cut along here, we'll turn up there, zip up and we'll go and check it out. Where's the professional? We'll get the professional out in good time. I could have put him on the roof actually, to be fair. This thing's a bit of a smoky bugger as well. Just me, I thought this was a little faster originally. Let's see. Again, I'll get a bit better at reading the chat. Not used to all this yet, but we'll get there. What time is it where I am? It is about 2:30 in the morning. What are you, 8:30, 6 hours behind? So yeah, I mean, normally I would want to start the stream a little bit earlier than this. But by the time I ended up getting to bed and everything, it was, yeah, just a little bit late. So this is the turning we got to take. Still thought this would be, yeah, a little bit quicker. I'll have to look next time if I've even put the right gearbox in. That's why I wanted, like, it'd be nice soon if we get a couple more, particularly modded trucks, because they've got a lot of scouts. I've sort of noticed recently, I've been kind of looking for a few trucks to take out for a little blast and start doing some missions again, but yeah, there is quite a lot of scouts really in the mod menu, which, they're cool, they're fun to have a little mess around with, but they're not the, yeah, they're not the most useful, because you can't really carry a lot of trailers, even if you can on some of them. They're, yeah, they're just not the nice things with trucks mainly on this game, well not mainly, but the fact that they've got a nice bit of weight, they plant themselves very nicely into the ground, so you can actually kind of apply the grip you've got. When you've got those really light vehicles, they just, there's not really a whole lot you can do with them. Which way do I need to go? We'll get the loaf out. Don't worry about him. He's good. Keeping an eye on the garage. To be honest, I could have brought the loaf really, I suppose, because I could have plunked him on the roof. So you can see already the thing's beeping. I remember roughly where this northern one is. I can't really remember where the west and the south ones are. Again, I know they're obviously along the west side and the south side. But if I just keep driving over to my marker, eventually, well, what was my guess? Well, there you go. I was about 20 metres off, but we're close enough that it's actually just letting me scan the area. Job done. It's one down. Again, it feels like a black box behind the writing. So the next one, the south one's obviously at the bottom, so I'm going to do the west one next, which is 1,192 metres away. So again, and I know it's going to be on the west side, so draw a marker, 1,074, so we're going to be a little bit further than that, 1,149, 1,190, that's close enough. So again, I'm 1,190 metres away from my truck, so the point where the oil, or where I've got a scan, is going to roughly be along that line. And yeah, I don't know completely where. We're probably best off. Cut down there. Oop. We're going to try and cut through the trees there a little bit. And then yeah, our line ended up somewhere around here, so that's where I'm going to head to, and we'll go from there. Again, I could use quickly. It's going to make me delete the markers. But it's 966 metres away from this truck, so if I drew another line over here, I would guess that if I put a dot there, it'd be 966 metres away. But yeah, it's not going to... There's no point in deleting the line again. It'll take too long. Doing what as well? I'm going to have to recover for 2 reasons, because it's just the special and advanced special. We've got the top engine. I suppose by popular demand, we get the professional out. I really wish this... In fact, sorry, this is again why editing is nice, because you can just cut all these kinds of things out. Let's see if we can get something that's a little bit less smoky. That's perfect. I wish they'd put the garage marker just right at the top, because I don't know about anybody else, but if you actually imagine the amount of wear and tear on my thumb and the remote alone, I've probably scrolled down to that garage. I've probably pressed the button like 100,000 times just to scroll to the garage every time. And especially on maps like was it Northport, where I've got about 100 trailers to scroll through. That really doesn't help. Here he is. Another thing as well, I might be able to get away with it, but yeah, the speed at which it turns vehicles on this is horrifically slow. And that's where a pull mode would be nice, because now, as I'm pressing triangle to lift the load, its wheels are fully turned and it's trying to kind of scoot forward off the roof like so. That'll do. We'll risk it. Oh, come on. It's going to be a bit awkward with it. There goes the light. Get him up there. Oh yeah. See with the crane how struggling though to lift it. Record crane, to be honest, that's the nicest crane. That's the one where kind of getting around if you're going to do a lot of crane lifting. See, it's struggling just to lift the loaf up in the air, and this is the large crane, man. Even that KRS Bandit crane that they keep adding to quite a lot of mods, that's a pretty nice crane to be fair for a small crane. Let's give it a go. Yes. He's on. It's rough, but it'll do. So I'm just kind of going to follow. Was it just in the darker patch so we've got about there? Right, let's go. We've got the clearances, and again, it's nice to bring a goddamn horse or vehicle along. We've got a spare route right near the Predator. Pretty happy about it. Could go along that way really, but the problem is I know I'll end up just tipping somewhere. Less than interior view. But yeah, I was saying, like with the mods, the trucks versus scouts, there's some nice trucks. Those recent ones, the twin steer will be back soon. That twice twin steer, I believe he removed it just to make a few little tiny tweaks, and then he's sent it back for reapproval. So that should be back very soon. Yeah, that Azov Iceberg is definitely a really nice mod. That's pretty well balanced, particularly the steering. He's definitely nailed that. How just kind of reduced the articulation of it, but actually added front wheel steering, and it's got a bit of rear steer, which just, yeah, altogether adds, like, it turns very nicely, but it's not actually twitchy at high speed, which is pretty good, because there is a few things, even the Tayga to be fair. I do like the steering on the Tayga, because it is nice and quick, but it's, when you go in a higher speed, yeah, it gets a little bit twitchy. Can we see our horse? Yes, we can. Cool. Probably best to look where we're going. Not a problem. Not when you got a professional. Rock out of the way. Yeah, this as well I don't like with the game recently. I'll see if I can change the time and get rid of it a bit. I don't like the amount of fog they've added. Since adding the flooded foothills and Big Salmon Peak, they've gone well over the top with the fog. I don't really know why. I tend to find I've not been on flooded foothills and Big Salmon Peak as much. I've still got a few missions to do on there, like the bigger ones with the cabins you got to craft and everything. Although I do find all that a little bit, I don't know, a little bit messy. Yeah, I get a lot of lag on that map though, particularly flooded foothills. Big Salmon Peak's not been as bad, to be fair. And yeah, other than that, they go like obviously a lot over the top with the fog as well. And as much as I did like Mud Runner, and I appreciate back then, I think the fog in Mud Runner was more to kind of, they couldn't just have an endless render distance, so they had to kind of limit it with that, which is fair enough, but it gave the whole game kind of a bit of a gloomy, washed out feel. Yeah, I quite like it when it's really nice and sunny and also, or the rain's pretty cool as well. But just fog in general, not too keen on. I like my views. See, some people have said that their loaf struggles to get through this section, but as I said before, if you put the right shoes on a loaf, you can go everywhere. Now he's got his JBE John shoes on, not a problem. We'll rescue you later. So a special Transtar, I believe. How's it going, guys? That's the gaming. Again, apologies, I'll get a bit better at the text, at being able to read it. I have to sit a bit closer and help. So I appreciate, I've kind of made things a little bit longer. Yeah, that's what she said. I could have just set off to this next point from when I'd already discovered the north point. Obviously, we have to go back. Get the professional. I agree, I don't know what I was thinking, not even bringing them in the first place. Go off there. So yeah, I'm kind of now driving back from, I suppose, the east side of the map over to the west. And yeah, we'll get the south sorted after that. I really like as well, I don't believe they did it on purpose, being able to pack the loaf on the roof. But I think it's pretty cool that you can. I hope they don't change any of that. I mean, in theory, you could certainly make something. Oh god. You could certainly make something for a truck like this. See? Loaf's on a right lean. Is it worth the risk? Should we just let him chill? Looking pretty happy on 2 wheels. As you can see, I spent very little time paying attention to where I'm actually driving. Usually when we hear things breaking, it's when I start paying attention and realising it's all gone horribly wrong. And I've got to do these missions to open up Quarry, which I'd like to, because Quarry has the top engine for the loaf, there's a second engine for the Dolphin, and then I can't remember if it blocks you on Zimnegorsk after that, but I'd like to get to there as well. That's the nice thing with being able to pack a loaf, is one thing, it saves you usually the winch point. I quite often use a winch point to kind of, bit of a seatbelt, keep him tied down, but yeah, with the packing that solves all that problem. Oh yeah, I remember this section. I'll just look at the map quickly, show you where we are. Kind of flew over to the other side of the map now. By the way, that's my map in general. When I haven't hit any watchtowers or used any radar trailers, And I quite like it, to be honest, the way it's kind of... I've gone enough places that I've just about uncovered everywhere. I know there is a few little complete black spots like that, but yeah, for the most part, I quite like the way it's sort of turned out and looks. I'm not going to be doing it on every map, but this was quite a nice candidate for it. Got another truck stuck there. It's like Voron D. I could risk unpacking the loaf and then repacking it, but what I don't want it to do is just... If that back wheel slips off the side, it might just fall down and then, yeah. I'll have to tow him along. And hopefully, like, there is about 5 or 6 trucks or whatever that are pretty cool to use. Well, to be honest, the nice thing about the JBE mods, other than the fact that I think they are well done, well balanced, like the amount of add-ons and tyres and everything's really nice, but they don't take up a lot of memory as well, which is pretty cool, because it'd be nice if they do something about the mod setup in general. Like when they remove mods, obviously we're just kind of stuck then, we've already got it in game. Someone's been saying recently, I've not heard it as like a major problem. Okay, so we're going to turn that way. Somebody got that, was it the Voron AE that was like a boat or something, and since they had that on their map and then obviously the mods removed it, his game keeps crashing now every time he tries to load it. I assume what he would like to be able to do is get the boat Voron AE back, load his map up, then probably just sell the mod and delete it or whatever, but then it should kind of sort his save file out, so it's not trying to load something that's not there. And yeah, particularly with the amount, like, because we've only got a limited amount of free space. So every time they remove a mod, if we've not already deleted it, although I do believe, because in the last update, a few people said they lost memory and they didn't have as much free room as they used to. I'm sure on the last update I actually gained a bit of memory, and the only thing I can think of that the game removed from me that I didn't already turn off as a mod was the Canadian O2 map or something. So it kind of removed that from the option before I'd unsubscribed from it and everything. So it might have awarded me them back, so I don't know if they're going to kind of refresh it every now and then and sort that out, but in the long run, it'd be nice if they, even if they had a window of just saying like removed mods that are just going to be there for another couple of days or something, just to give you a chance to yeah, load your games up, get them back in the game and kind of uninstall them, because on a few of my playthroughs it kept saying then like various errors, there's mods missing. I've slowly added those mods back in, gone onto the maps, deleted them all and stuff, and kind of stopped that from happening. It wasn't really important, but there's a bit of OCD going on. Should you do it, Loaf? Definitely leaning a bit there. Yeah. Well, you can see this is some pretty serious off-roading going on. But I don't 100% remember where like the point is I've got to scan, but all I remember when I did this sort of geological point last time is I kind of tried to cut through from the nearest point from the road, and the trees were ridiculously thick. I got caught in there for like half an hour trying to smash through these trees, getting these bloody seismic vibrator modules caught on them and all sorts. I was hoping though this would be a little bit more urgent through here. Just try and get up nearer the trees, see if it's a bit less boggy. Chris Johnson, Patreon supporter, I appreciate it, man. Joe, I need to get back onto that Patreon, to be honest. It's really weird on my phone though, when I load Patreon, like, I load it the first time and I can't read any messages, I can't see any names, and I don't know how to get onto the bit where I can, but then if I turn my phone off, like go off Safari or whatever it's called, and then I click back on it a few hours later, it kind of reloads the Patreon page, and then I can see everything again, so I know it's probably something I'm doing wrong. I'm pretty useless with computers and everything, to be honest. Even trying to get this stream figured out. I went to go and live stream it and then it said, oh, you need to go and sign in and agree to terms and conditions. It's like, oh no. This is where everything goes wrong. Like, do you remember your email? Nope. Do you remember your password? Nope. So we've got the beeping going, so I was pretty close with the dot I placed. I think I was waiting for a slightly different beep before. Let's get into a high-low, see if that... Not really. So this was the point I predicted, and how far off are we? 80... Is that 80? Yeah. So, not too bad. I did kind of remove the dot a few times and replace it as well, so I might have slightly not gone far enough down the map. But we're close either way, just coming to crawl at 1 mile an hour. What else we got? Insane Terrible, how's it going, dude? FBI, hello? FBI. We'll get them next time. See, you leave the loaf to handle his business. He's settled down on the roof at last. Might even be able to repack him. We'll attempt to scan this area, get that one ticked off the list. I'm going to attempt it. Oh. Uh-oh. What? Cock blocked me with a menu. What kind of animal does that? Yeah, so I think I placed the marker around here, so I was a little bit... Well, like I said, if I was perpendicular, I was over here when I drew the line. So if I did a dot there and draw it, like, parallel to that dot, so yeah, it still stands to reason that that works. And then the last one is, what, 1,000 again? Why did they make the writing so bloody tiny? I think that's 1,898, and it's going to be along here somewhere. I'm guessing over this side, because 1,800's a pretty long way. Oh, it might even be all the way over here. 1851, so yeah. 1900, that's close enough. So it's got to be there, because again, I've got to stay like 1998, oh, 1800, or whatever, 1900 metres away from my truck. So it can only really be kind of along that line there somewhere. So yeah, we'll start with there. But how am I going to get over here? Is it worth? Yes, it is. See, this is the thing, trying to get back through all these trees is going to be a right nightmare. Oh, I don't know. I could recover, or try along here. What I don't want to do is go 1 mile an hour through the swamp for the next 10 minutes. Also, I don't want to tip over if I can help it. Considering the loaf is set up pretty high, doesn't really make it tip a whole lot. I haven't, well, in fact, I haven't done a whole lot of driving with loafs on the roof. Well, not like this anyway, when you can actually pack them, but I haven't, touch wood, tip one over yet. Right, I really should start trying to... Yeah, it thins out down here. That would be nice. Should delete that for a minute. I don't like that as well, when you try and draw markers and it just kind of jumps to something nearby that there's no business trying to make me go to. Yeah, some mods soon I would like to see is a dolphin would be nice, and probably, yeah, the Derry 4520, because I was even watching videos on them the other night, like real life videos, and they're so much better than this game makes them out to be. They're just terrible on this game, whereas in real life, I was watching one drag like a fully overturned, yeah, like an American truck, just dragging it sideways off the road like it was nothing. And on this, oh god, my bad, people are in the fence. Like some old cult or something. We got Team Fox CRF. How's it going, man? That's the dude who has made the Azov Iceberg and the Twice Twin Steer and the the off-road trailers. I do like them off-road trailers. The only reason I haven't turned the off-road trailers on for a while is nothing to do with the actual mod itself. Let's get a bit of daylight back here. Is because I just leave trailers everywhere. If I leave a modded trailer, headbutt your way through, life, professional. Yeah, I kind of have to return them, otherwise it says mod missing. Unless I keep the mod on permanently, which to be fair with the trailers I might actually do soon, because I've just been testing recently with mods. Like eventually I'd like to keep some mods permanently activated. There's definitely mods I'll be keeping. There's mods I've been using again. Like, I mean, that example is the Azov Antarctic or the Iceberg. But I've turned it off again off my map just because, yeah, like limited space, and while I'm testing other mods, I don't want to. Some people were saying the more mods they added to the game, like the increase the likelihood of crashing. What? GQ Patrol Expert. How's it going, man? Brian Spain. Lurie Ricardo. I hope I pronounced that right. Mark himself, the one and only. Where are we going here? Like I said, what we really don't want to do is tip. I'm not sure on this loaf if I've got the advanced winch or the autonomous. Now, mostly, I definitely prefer having the advanced winch on the loaf. However, obviously if we both tipped over now and the loaf was on its side as well, I can't use the winch. So it's definitely safer to take the autonomous, but the autonomous is a bit gutless compared to what it used to be. Although I think a bit of the winch strength has actually returned, probably since the last update. I've kind of noticed it not being as horrifically bad recently. I still wouldn't say back to the good old days. We've got Derek Locasio. I hope I've said that right. Apologies if I haven't. I'm pretty terrible at pronouncing anything that's remotely not like Smith and John and Bruce. Brian Spain. Alan Birch told. Hello from Canada. So what's like with the weather over there? I mean, we're pretty much in winter over here. We just had some snow in the UK pretty recently, which was pretty nice. Right, so we just want to follow this along, get there, get some fuel, zip along here. There's another goddamn professional keeping an eye on the situation. Get off them bricks. And then I believe I put the marker somewhere around there, so we'll head that way. Continue 84, good to see you live. Yeah, it's nice to I wanted to get a live stream going earlier in the day, and because my sleep pattern is so horrific and everything, yeah, I just kind of, every time I got up I wanted to do it earlier. That's why I've kind of just done the stream a bit later than I would normally like. Well, I'm happy doing the stream at this time of night, to be fair, but I assume any UK people are probably going to be in bed by now. I'm just, yeah. I can't sleep at night for whatever reason. I don't know why. I've tried a hell of a lot, but since I was a teenager, it's just not happening. Well, I can't really sleep that well in the day either, if I'm completely honest, but for whatever reason, I just like to be awake at night. Cold and wet here, no snow. So, are you roughly, like, in, say, Canada and America, still in winter, though, a bit like we are? Because I find it odd, obviously Christmas over here, it's winter. It's pretty crazy to think that in places like Australia, it's the middle of summer when it's Christmas. Like having barbecues on the beach and that. So it'd be pretty cool, but yeah, it just wouldn't strike me as the Christmas kind of feeling to it. We've seen a hello from the US, I didn't quite see who. Scott Rayburn. Thanks, man. Yeah, how long to get the live stream going? Yeah, exactly. Like I say, I just kept kind of missing the point where I wanted to do it. It was kind of like, right, I'll skip it for another night, but that's why I've just gone and done it now. I didn't even know how to get live streaming going. I wasn't even sure if yeah, you'd be able to hear my voice on it or anything, all sorts. I've not got a webcam. Might look into that one day, but I don't know. Not sure how keen I am with just a webcam staring at me just yet. Yeah, so still winter over there, which yeah, is a bit more normal. I could live with that. It confused me having winter in like June, July. It just doesn't make any sense. Fair to this mod, it's a little bit on the slow side. I personally, as you know, I like high range gearboxes, but I think this has got the JVE transmission, which is, yeah, it's pretty good to be honest. It's certainly still pretty smooth. This thing is ticking along nicely through most parts. It certainly wasn't like in that swamp earlier. Is this my first live stream? Yeah. First one I've ever done. Didn't even know what I was doing about half an hour ago. Didn't even know how or if it was even possible. It did say about scheduling a live stream. If I'd got onto it a little bit earlier, I probably would have done that, but just because it was already late enough as it is, I kind of figured I'll just start now. Again, I know it's a bit unannounced and all the rest of it, but we'll get that smoothed out over the next few weeks, hopefully. And yeah, I'll try and get a little bit more regular with the time. Well, luckily we passed a fuel station, so I've already fueled up, but again, that's one of the reasons I always took a loaf along with me. I mean, part of it, I believe in Phase 3 they're going to add the option, I'm not sure if it's to like recover trailers though. I think you can just delete trailers, which I suppose is good, because there is some people, me included, that have managed to get trailers stuck in bridges that are just sticking out of the bridge, and yeah, it's wedged in there pretty good. I remember on Flooded Foothills, the goddamn horse of a vehicle, he managed to get a trailer out of there. But so yeah, the ability to delete trailers would be pretty good, but because you can't recover them, taking like a maintenance trailer for example, let's just say right now, instead of having a loaf, I brought a maintenance trailer. Once I've finished this mission, I then can't just recover to the garage unless I abandon a maintenance trailer, which these days I don't really care because the money isn't really an issue. But back in the day, just abandoning like a £7 grand trailer in the middle of nowhere when you're only making like a grand or two a mission was, yeah, getting pretty costly. Northport wasn't cheap to make me a little trailer yard. So, driving to my point, let's see how close we were. Oh, we're still, I wasn't even looking, 115. Oh no, we're going the wrong way. Well, so my point was here, so if I now start driving then up this way, perpendicular to it, we might... Yep. Looking like the right way. Because the first time I did this, I didn't really even try and apply any like logic or anything to it. I just kind of started driving around, watching the distance countdown, and was just, yeah, kind of winged it. Done. Whereabouts was it? Yeah. So I think I drew the point there. I sort of said it'll be along the line here somewhere. So yeah, it works. Works pretty well. Done. How much? Well, that's not too bad actually for the money. Nearly 10 grand. That's fair. I'll take it. Right. So what else can we do? Drowned oil truck. Don't really want to do that. See what else we've got in the way of slightly bigger missions. Oh, is it letting me have something? Oh god, I ain't going over to that bloody swampy area again. We'll give that one a miss until next time. Wooden planks. Wooden planks order is what I was going to do yesterday with the, yeah, that's how we'll do that. I was doing it with a long-nosed club, but like I said, it kept crashing. So at this point, I could... I'll just recover. So we'll get this set up a little bit different. We'll get the loaf back. What we've got? Wooden planks, 5 of them, so... Let's get a saddle loaf. See, I just kind of, when I go through my mods, I know that's free, so it probably doesn't matter, but I just sell everything back each time, and at the end of the night, I kind of yeah, sell it all back, which I don't really want to long term, but like I said, it just, if they ever remove it off the mod menu or anything, I've, here he is, professional. Let's get him back out there. ML from Jamestown, New York. How's it going, dude? Epic Boss 218. Dad Dio, is it? Yeah, I don't know why the loaf was twitching around on the roof then. But I've not really done a whole lot of roof travelling so far, and you kind of found it out the other day by chance. See, whose idea was it? They go, right, let's have a trailer store that sticks something very long on the back of your truck. Where should we put it? Right in the corner. And stroke of genius was that. I quite like this trailer, to be honest, because for whatever reason it just really doesn't catch a lot. And again, we will be getting a professional. There's two reasons, well, probably three reasons why I like this trailer. I quite like the look of the flatbeds. It's got that little ledge on the front, which is actually, you can do it, or loaf. Yeah, which is like a perfect spot for the loaf, and like I said, it just doesn't catch. Well, not as bad as like that 8-slot trailer, for example, is pretty horrific. One. See, this is what I don't like when you pick stuff up. Luckily, Loaf's a professional, so he swung back pretty quick. Now he's swung all the way the other way. You can kind of, by moving the crane at the right time, yeah, get it to go a bit quicker, but the speed or lack of at which it rotates anything, cargo or vehicles, is just not good. And again, a pull mode would be nice, so it didn't keep trying to drive itself. In the long run, though, what's it take? An extra 30 seconds or something, but when I've got a roof rack and everything with me, and again a spare winch. Like I say, the loaf kind of to a degree replaced the maintenance trailer, just because then it kind of acted as a recoverable maintenance trailer that I didn't have to then keep heading back to the garage every time. Yeah, let's go this way for this one. Got the stream going for 42 minutes. It's longer than I thought, actually. She said. Again, let's get a bit of daylight. It's not that I don't like the night time. Actually, I do quite like the full. I don't really like the twilight bit where it's like between day and night, where you can't really see a lot, but your headlights don't really do a hell of a lot. And to be fair, they've kind of nailed that effect, because in real life it's kind of the same. That point where it's dark, but your headlights just don't seem to do anything. Fox CRF 450 rider, keep it up, dude. Cheers, man. More trucks to go work on. Sorry, it kind of breaks the text up, but not always in a full word. Just kind of steps down halfway through the word. Yeah, that's good. Again, that's the dude who did the twice twin steer and the Azov Iceberg, which are some, yeah, bloody nice mods. I really like both of them, to be honest. I'll be keeping them around sort of long term. Eventually, when I've kind of cycled through some of the mods. I mean, some people have been saying they're not too keen on mod videos, but to be honest, I can't really avoid them because they've added mods, and it'd be a bit weird to just kind of ignore that mods exist or anything. But other than that, I mean, it was about the middle of November, I believe, when they added the last Phase 2 update. So yeah, we're talking 2.5 months ago, like 75, 80 days ago. When we get some new base game content, obviously when they add Phase 3, I'll be doing a lot of videos on that. I'll still be using some mods, but I'm kind of using this period between when they've added mods and Phase 3 to just kind of test out a few different mods, see what I like, see what I don't like, and then, yeah, hopefully by Phase 3 I'll kind of pick a few mods, like the Azov Iceberg like this. Hopefully there might be a proper modded Dolphin by then. Well, again, there is a modded Dolphin in the truck life improvements, but because I've not got all the upgrades, I can't really upgrade it a hell of a lot. It's still better than nothing. It's got a bigger selection of tyres, some raised suspensions, so on, but it's just, yeah, I can't have the engine on one in it at the minute. Oops, if you look where you're going. The twice twin steer, the guy removed it, well, like, he wanted to do some little tweaks to it, but to do that they have to remove the mod, so yeah, the twice twin steer, do the little tweaks they're going to do, and then apply for kind of approval to get it added back on the console mod menu list, so that will be back very shortly. It's yeah, just essentially waiting for the approval again, so I don't think it'll be too long, so yeah, it'll be a little bit of a wait for that. Phase 3 is going to be Wisconsin, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. I'm hoping it's, I believe it's mostly not snow, which is, I do like the snow in this game, but yeah, they've kind of gone a little bit mental with some of the super snow. But then when it was snowing the other day, in real life, here, it did, I've not got an old snotter car at the minute that I can go out messing around with. Is that 5? No. Make me the loaf's fat horse ass is in the way. And he does it. Yes. Right. Perfect. Yeah, I came and did this yesterday. I did it with the long nose club, and I also brought, is it what's it called? The 6-slot trailer that's kind of like, not the dolly axle, but a good version of the dolly axle, like a big setup with sort of 2 wheels on it, or 4 wheels in total, 2 axles. And yeah, it was going pretty well, but on my way back, both times, the footage just decided to crash for some reason. Chris Johnson was just looking for the twice twin steer. Yeah, like, it was only on there for about a day, and then, like I said, there was a few tweaks, but it should be back pretty soon. I got wood. Redneck Reaper. Again, it'd be nice if it didn't split words in half. Yeah. That's what she said. Jason Paul manual, but it ain't on consoles. Oh, is it a loaf mod? Modder called Emmy made a loaf mod. Yeah, I've not actually watched it, but I've seen what's his name? TC Gaming, I believe, did a video on that quite a little while ago now. Hopefully we'll see some kind of loaf mod added pretty soon. Although I have to say, what would my wish list be? If they're going to add, I suppose, a bit more power would be nice, but I wouldn't want it to be too insane, because yeah, the loaf is actually pretty nicely balanced. Again, a little bit more power and stuff would be cool, but just the way it handles and everything. The tyres, I suppose a bit bigger tyres would definitely be nice, but not too big, because if they were too big and they're like, it'll make the wheelbase really, really short, it'll kind of be a bit odd, like when you turn, it'll kind of, yeah, a little bit like the C5 Jeep was pretty cool, well, it's definitely pretty cool, but it kind of, with the biggest tyres on the, all the wheels sit very close, and as you're turning, it kind of crabs a little bit and sort of tries to do an endo and flip itself and all sorts, so, I mean, what's the loaf got? 33-inch tyres at the minute, so maybe like 35 to 38-inch. Some of these quasi-studded muds or whatever would be pretty interesting. Yeah, a little bit more power. And other than that, what can you actually do to improve a goddamn professional? I suppose some extra repair points and stuff that actually go in the back of the van. That'd be some kind of benefit. But that's another thing why I always brought the loaf a lot, is a lot of the small Scouts have 150 repair points on their roof rack. This thing has 300, which, like I said, the maintenance trailer only has about 350, so it's pretty good. Even the like the Tatran, for example, only has 150. Does anybody actually use that bridge? I remember I used it once the first time. It was I believe, saving country bread. It was that mission, and I was dragging the loaf over there, and it kind of glitched into the bridge, and just got completely stuck for bloody ages. So ever since then, whether it's realistic or not, to be fair, that bridge isn't exactly... well, it might be realistic, but I wouldn't say it's very usable. Termite 101B, hi, how you going, dude? We got deplorable bastard, goddamn professional. You know he is. The loaf is still my favourite vehicle in this game, I have to say. Someone saying, Thingboy69, I kind of want a loaf mod where it's a truck, like a regular cab, but then it has a bed at the back. Yeah, that'd be quite a interesting concept, like a little bit of a mini pickup version. Maybe like a one cargo slot or something like that, would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, another thing I'd like with the loaf would be a saddle low or a saddle high on its roof, because as you've seen, I've ran cargo around quite a few times before with a loaf, but when you reverse under a semi-trailer, it leaves the legs down because I can't attach it, so they kind of catch a lot. A lamppost. So this wasn't too much of a bad mission. Certainly more simple than yesterday's one where it kept crashing. And I'm assuming as well, when they add Phase 3, they'll probably add a few more contracts to some of the base maps we've already got, which would be pretty nice. To be honest, I need to look in to see what they're actually adding on that next phase. I don't know why it makes you deliver each piece individually now. It used to just take the whole lot in one hit. JBE Lodestar is pretty sweet. Yeah, it is actually. I have used that. It was pretty good. That's probably another mod that I will keep around long term when I eventually do it. I'm just hoping once I turn a load of mods on and have kind of 5 to 10 mods on one file, that it doesn't just automatically try and crash the game every 2 minutes. A little bit of a shortcut. Right. Should we do one more mission and then we'll call it a day. What else we got? Saving country bread. As much as I do love saving my fellow loaves. Where the hell's that taking me to? Exactly. Doesn't even know itself. We won't go that way though, or... we could. Professional, let's recover him. Could go to a different map for a minute. What the hell's this thing doing now? Yeah, we'll go and pick another mission, nothing too crazy, but... I did have a little go, I can't remember the name of it, but there is a mod map they've added recently, and I went on it yesterday, again only for a few minutes, and the thing was bloody massive. Again, that's definitely what she said, but it was, yeah, there was like some watchtowers on it, you probably need a radar truck and stuff as well. Let's see what else we've got. I could go on Flooded Foothills. The problem is on this one, yeah, I've not really searched anything so far, so there's not a lot of missions to choose from. What's this one like? Seems a bit crazy. Nope. Just reading comments, 12 mods, no problem so far, that's pretty good. I did saving country bread with a monstrosity, but that was a pretty quick, swift loaf recovery. I don't know what map What map should we go on? Kind of want to go on that, but again, not really done anything. Let's go on it and have a quick look. Sod it. Go to Black River. I'll have a quick look then. We'll. I don't know what missions I've got on Black River at the minute, but I have to agree. To be fair, I'd probably rather drive around Black River than Flooded Foothills. Just scout for watchtowers with mods. Yeah, I might take a few mods on that map. I don't really mind doing the watchtowers, to be honest. Where you start though, there was no trailer store, so I couldn't get like a radar trailer or anything. Yeah, one thing I'm thinking the problem is with this is I bet I'm going to have a load of frame rate issues, and to be honest, that drives me mad. So I think we are going to skip that one, go to Imandra. I'm not sure if I've even got Imandra unlocked on this one. Yeah, I haven't. I've got Lake Coved, but again, not really got a whole lot. There's the garage. There's the prototype trailer up there. So we could go and recover the prototype trailer, because then in future, let's try that. In future, I could uncover a few more maps and kind of get a few more missions on the go. Start playing on PC. It'd be nice, but I haven't got a PC, and yeah, so that solves that one. I quite like Lake Coved, if I can even say the bloody thing. What I would like to try, I've already bought one of these. Yes, we have. Yeah, I quite enjoy using this mod, but this may well be pretty well suited to snow, particularly the trollish snow. Go to Black River. The problem with Black River is I don't know if I've actually got many missions left on there, because I've kind of been using that map quite a bit to test a lot of various mods and stuff, and kind of picked away at a lot of the missions. What's this? Winch, extra power. Sounds good to me. So we're going to need a crane and a sideboard, so we can take a goddamn horse or vehicle with us. Just while we're here, the roof racks in this one. Yes. Lastly, the colour. The red one. When you go to Black River, it reminds me of when you started playing. Yeah, to be honest, Black River is still one of my favourite maps. Black River and Smithville, I think they've both got like the views pretty nice. I think they got the balance pretty spot on as well. You kind of got different routes. You kind of got the main road that sort of loops the map. You've got more direct routes that are a lot more off-road. You kind of got a little bit in between with the kind of light dirt roads and stuff. It's quite a nice variety. Maps like Imandra, there was no real alternative. It was just kind of oh yeah, it's just like super snowy, bro. You kind of got a few muddy trails, but nothing. Just for the most part, it holds you back too much, and it makes the pace quite slow. And that's where I think mods have been pretty nice. Not really. I will try and get Imandra unlocked pretty soon, to be fair, because I've not really been back on it since my first playthrough. Like I said, I didn't have mods for that one. See how slow it is to turn. Plonk him in. Indeed. Right. Good to go. just realised you're streaming. Hey the horse guy. I know, yeah, like I said, it's my first stream ever, so we'll see how it goes. See, this so much better with the steering. A little bit of rear steer, which is nice, mainly the fact that the front steers. I like the fact that there is a tiny little bit of articulation left, because, again, I think that adds a little bit of uniqueness to it. It's not as much articulation as it used to have, but that's not a bad thing, because this game is, they're a little bit weak with the articulation steering. Unlike the base version of this, or the Cat 745C, the kind of hydraulics that allow you to have articulated steering, they're just not very strong. So once you start leaning on the hill, and you're trying to turn kind of towards up the hill, it just really struggles with it, and it's yeah, makes things a bit awkward. Once my loaf started moving before the engine started, yeah, it does that every now and then. That's just what you get with a professional. He knows what you need, and he supplies it, including engine power. Oh, reading the chat, oh no. Not very well. 83% better than the in-game 4220. Oh yeah, the Derry, I could easily imagine. I just, again, like I mentioned it ages ago, but I wasn't sure if they tried to get some deal with Oshkosh and maybe something went wrong, or they're asking too much or something. And then this game just kind of purposely made them weaker than perhaps they should have been, just kind of out of spite. I don't really know if that's true. That's just pure guesswork from me, but they've improved the other Derry a fair bit. That's now got diffs. It's got that liftable axle that kind of solves that problem quite a bit. Again, apologies for this little bit. I just really wasn't paying attention at all. Store crane, back. Yeah, and like I said, the Derry and this were sort of supposed to be kind of the king of the game, really. You know what? Sorry, it's a bit stoppy-starty, but I would like. It'd be nice if they sorted this so it didn't just keep resetting to 80 every time. I quite like it at 100. Yeah, it's just considering they were supposed to be like the top trucks in the game, they just weren't that overwhelming, really. I mean, the Taiga, for example. The Taiga's one of the best trucks in the game, one of the best base trucks in the game, and they gave us that kind of really early on Drowned Lands. I'm surprised, really, because then you get the step toe, the step 310E or whatever the bloody hell it's called. I just call it the step toe. On Zimnegorsk, I'm surprised, really, they didn't switch the step toe with the Taiga. So you get the step toe on Drowned Lands, and then the Taiga on Zimnegorsk would have kind of made more sense for how much better the Taiga is than the step toe. Although to be fair, the step toe is better than I think it gets credit for. One thing it lets itself down is it's very light, so in certain situations it's really not that good. This thing, I have to say, is doing bloody good for all of this. Even this section is like seriously trollish snow here that normally everything else just crawls through at 2 miles an hour. The fact that this thing's got massive, is it 72-inch tyres and stuff, yeah. It's actually going pretty nicely on here. And to be fair, I still don't think this feels overpowered. It just feels like they've put a pretty bloody good engine in it. And again, it's got massive tyres, so it's bowling over the terrain. And when you've got a truck like this, that if you consider with this, well, not this particular setup, but I could have saddle high, saddle low, and take various semi-trailers. A truck without a semi-trailer and all the weight on it has kind of got a lot of horsepower and everything for what it is. Do we risk it? Yes. Famous last words. Uh-oh. That's actually pretty bloody good. Most things just get stuck in there. That's as much as I've attempted that section many times, you're normally best off just looping around and avoiding it. Although I do believe they might have tweaked the ice a little bit in one of the recent updates, because when I was testing it out on like that big icy patch on Lake Cogdon, like the frozen river, it used to just, you'd break pure chunks off and just drop through. It now seems a little bit more like, it's almost like a slush puppy consistency under there. Oh, while I'm here, for what it's worth, I know most people know about this, but someone mentioned it the other day, and I mentioned it a while ago. You got Bigfoot footprints just there, and then some yellow snow there. So it's some kind of Easter egg. Every now and then I'm sure you can hear some kind of large creature roaring in the background, so I certainly haven't seen any Yeti or anything yet, but yeah, pretty cool Easter egg. Send it. Exactly. We sent it. It worked. Osh Ford CLT got 6-wheel drive, yeah. Ford Clip 9000. It should, to be honest, as much as it's like, I get kind of why they were trying to add a bit of variation with the highway trucks, but in reality, it's an off-road game that's trying to add highway trucks. They're just automatically limited, and to be honest, they did such a nice job with the GMC 9500. That is actually a pretty decent truck. Once it's got the all-wheel drive upgrade and everything, it's actually pretty solid, so it would be nice if they gave a little bit of love to the Transstar and the Ford Clip 9000, because yeah, I just think it'd make them a little bit more usable. I'm pretty sure in real life there's bound to be someone that's added like all-wheel drive versions and diffs and all that sort of stuff. Well, I have to say, this yeah, this Azov Iceberg has handled this map pretty bloody well. I was going to reverse, but then when it started giving me lip and trying to damage me, am I even going to be able to reach this? I just remember doing this last time and it completely deleted my suspension and everything. They are a little bit unnecessary with the... possibly could have gone that way, we'll see. Let me reach her, or is it going to try and winch? Yes. It's nice when things go right on this game. It's pretty rare, but when it does, it is an added bonus. Hoist it to half mast. That'll do. I will drop it down in a minute, but to get out between these things. Again, they might have tidied this little section up, because I'm sure there was more stuff I had to reverse over last time that absolutely smashed me to pieces, even though I was only going like 2 miles an hour at the time. Uh-oh. We're good. Alright, let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what would help, if I actually activated the mission. It's the one. Really? I hate it when they do that. They just don't offer you a winch point at the front bit. Is the Cat 770G good? Not really. It's a shame, to be honest. It's it didn't feel too bad at first, but it's not got all-wheel drive, which it's got pretty good tyres and it's got a lot of weight, so when it grips fine, but then you just get sections where it doesn't grip and it's like tell you what, this is a bit of an extra side thing, but I'll see if it works. We'll see if I can get this trailer on the loaf. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm not really keen on the steering on the Cat 770G either. It's a bit too slow. Oh yeah, it's because it's a taller sideboard. Goddamn professional. Every time I try and pack a trailer, again, it just works with a loaf. I don't know what it is about a loaf, but just a professional. Just lets you get on with your game without trying to be a pain in the arse all the time. It's not letting me pack trucks at the minute, probably because it's got a trailer with it. Again, I didn't really need to do this, but it's just my own stubborn amusement. Right, have we got to head back? I believe we do. What flag is that? The State of Loaf. Start in his own country. GDP, not just goddamn professional. Start getting a gross domestic product as well. Love your videos, keep it up, appreciate it. Chris C7, Quentin Ball, hello. How's it going, dude? Nice to have you along. If in doubt, drop it in high range and floor it. High range is without a doubt just the most fun gear in this game, because the gears are a little bit iffy with the way they give you power, and I suppose one of the most unrealistic parts in this game. It's not the end of the world, and I appreciate kind of why they've done it, but as you go through like up the auto gears, you get to say 5th gear out of 8, instead of dropping it back down to 4th, it just kind of jumps to 1st and makes you climb all the way back up. High range, obviously it will stall if you're just not going anywhere, but yeah, once you stick it in high and you've actually got it above that limit where it's going to stall, it motors along so nicely. No need to pack him, he knows what he's doing. Exactly. He is no amateur. He's got damn horse of a vehicle. All in, balls out. It's the only way. Cut through another bit of this section. Yeah, like I said, I've kind of made, I believe, in some places, a little bit more like slush puppy underneath, which is good, because it kind of helps seat the loose blocks of ice, and I don't know, it just overall, I think they've done something to it anyway. Although this does look pretty slow through here, yeah, this is one of the few trucks that's ever just drove through both ways without any real issues, so that's pretty good. They are adding another gearbox. Yeah, I heard, is it like, not multi-purpose gearbox, was it adjustable or something? I was thinking about that the other day, not just like from when I heard the adjustable gearbox, but there's a few trucks where the high range is a little bit quick, not that I am against that, but it starts making the characteristics act all a little bit squirrely and you start skidding around a lot. Some of the high-lows are kind of a bit slow. So having a high range that you could actually set yourself, if that's ever possible, would be pretty interesting. Yeah, fine-tune, exactly, that's what we need. Oh, fine-tune gearbox or something? Sounds good to me. Again, keep trying to read the chat, I'm just really not looking where I'm going. See, and this is how I went along, because someone was saying the other day, and it's a good idea, you know, a bit like with that JBE John I had, where I had the seismic vibrator module on the back. If you could have the equivalent of, like, imagine this prototype trailer just being an add-on on the back of trucks, and you could drive around. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool idea, fair idea. I kind of got around that by doing this general setup. I was with a Dolphin, not this Azov iceberg, but I had, yeah, just stick a loaf in the sideboard, tow the trailer behind, and now I'm essentially driving around with a prototype trailer on the truck. But I've just got the loaf there, because then that allows me to actually activate the trailer. It's 4 gears, bud. Don't get your hopes up. Oh yeah, the new gearbox. Doesn't sound like my cup of tea. Lodestar and P16. I like both there. I've not tried the most recent. Some dude has added like a P16 and a P12, I believe. I'm going to try them out soon. I kind of get a little bit wary unless things are voted probably like mid to high 80s at bare minimum. There's a few mods on there that have kind of not got very high on the votes, and I just kind of skip them, so I'm not too sure why. Like, there's a Super Taker on there, but it's only got like 68% upvotes, and unless it's crashing people's games, like, I don't know why somebody would dislike a Super Taker unless something isn't right with it. But I can't say for sure, so I'm not knocking that mod or whatever. I mean, sort of try it at your own risk, but yeah, I've been a little bit cautious with it because I'd rather not lose my my footage and data and everything if I could. See what we are going to do. Oh crap! Oh, we're going this way now anyway. Too late. We'd already made an inch of progress. Far too long to go back. Well, I was going to deliver this to the garage, but I can see now it wants it over there. See, again, it's nice having change, even though you do get a little bit of drifting. I really like the toughness of the suspension on this thing as well. I mean, it is damageable. I've damaged it a couple of times, but it's just not made of bloody, yeah, glass. Which is nice. Super Taiga doesn't move when you exit the garage. Oh, well. That makes a lot of sense. That is, yeah, not sounding particularly super. Let's try that again, bots, and we'll have words. The Yeti will be in phase 3. It'll be pretty cool. I'm not sure though, because is that Wisconsin got any snow on it at all? I believe they're mainly mud, although some on... I could be getting mixed up, but yeah, I think one might have a bit of snow on, perhaps. But again, overall I like the snow. When they first said Snow Runner, I was kind of like, oh no. Because Mud Runner obviously was like a mud, and it's was a particularly unique game in that respect. Yeah, when they said snow, I was just kind of like, oh, I hope they don't kind of ruin it. I think they did really well with the snow at first, and then yeah, just recently with stuff like Imandra and that, they just add it up to trollish levels. Why? Because change to a professional, you get promoted. For 5 grand, that's not too bad. Being a little bit less greedy. To be honest, there is a... What should we do? I'll tell you what. I'm going to drive back. Drop that radar trailer off. And yeah, I'll show you quickly, to be honest, while we're on a stream, how to do one of the glitches to get some more money. Because somebody was saying the other day, and this is where it's now becoming like, whether you actually want to glitch money or not, people have turned mods on, bought them, paid for them, all the rest of it, then they get removed from the mod menu, and then everybody's like lost their money. And for people who haven't used any glitches or anything, like, money's pretty, yeah, pretty scarce on the ground in this game, particularly for the first lot, so just being able to top your money up a bit is kind of handy. Yeah, I really do like this Azov Iceberg, I have to say. It drives very nicely. The steering in particular is, I think he's kind of nailed that one. Oh, crap, that's not even a bloody trailer store, is it? Oh well, I'll do there for now. Professional, done. Azov Iceberg. Recovered, and yeah, like I say, just before we go, we'll call it a day about there, but you can do this with different stuff, so you could do this, in fact, I'll do it with this. I was going to do it with the Navistar, but a lot of people haven't got that. So, get a collab, go to engines, oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, change of plan, I'm going to have to do it with a Navistar or something. Scroll speed on this thing could do with a bit of improvement. So yeah, I'm just going to use the Navistar. You can use other engines though. It's just the more expensive the mod you can find, the better. So go to customization and go to engines. I've got these two choices of engines. You need to own like the most expensive thing you can, but not have it equipped. And if I scroll down to it now, you can see in the bottom, just kind of at the front tyre of the Navistar, it says press X to install and press square to sell. If I press them both at the same time, it equips it, but it also sells it. So then I click that, and I've just made 24 grand, but it also equipped the engine, so I got to keep it. Go to equip the stock engine again, back down to that, hit square and X at the same time, and then just keep doing that, and you can, every now and then if it, yeah, goes wrong, you just have to sort of go back. I'm not doing a very good job of it at the minute. It's the timing. You need to, I believe you need to hit the square button a little bit quicker, yeah. But it's 24, so every time you do that 4 times, that's another 100 grand. So for people that want to replace stuff, it's and it works on all kinds of stuff. You could do it on, I don't know, winches for example. Just for the sake of it, yeah, the advanced winch. Well, let's equip that. Click install and sell on that. Sell it for 18,800, but it also equips it. So it's just a way to like boost your money up, really. Which, yeah, as I said, because of the way they keep just removing mods without warning, and people are losing a lot of money, it's worth knowing. So yeah, I'll leave it about there for today. It's been a pretty successful first stream, to be honest. Went a lot better than I thought. I appreciate all you guys turning up. and showing you support, showing you messages. Apologies if I've missed some messages and all sort. I know I have, but it's yeah, trying to read them and drive as well. We'll get that all smoothed out. So yeah, I'll leave it there for today. I appreciate it though. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.